There are 18 million displaced people in Asia in need of help, and their numbers continue to grow. In part one of a series on refugee issues, we focus on a controversial program to exchange asylum seekers and refugees between Australia and Malaysia. To stem the influx of refugees arriving in Australia by sea, the country signed an agreement on the program in July. But confusion prevails as an Australian court has ordered the country's government to suspend the agreement.
Under the deal, 800 asylum seekers who arrived in Australia by boat would have been sent to Malaysia. In return, Australia would have accepted 4,000 refugees from Malaysia. Last year, more than 6,500 people smuggled themselves into Australia. In December, a boat packed with asylum seekers was wrecked before it could reach the country. Australia aimed to stop such smuggling by sending a clear message that the country would send illegal immigrants to Malaysia.
Malaysia and Australia are serious about stopping people smuggling.
But the Australian court that rejected the deal said refugees' safety could not be ensured since Malaysia had not ratified an international convention on the issue. Nevertheless, the Australian government is poised to proceed with the program and consider modifying the country's immigration laws.
We are determined to pursue bringing to life the arrangement that we have made with Malaysia.
Our correspondent Chikashi Takaoka joins us from the Malaysian capital, Kuala Lumpur. Chikashi, why has Malaysia signed a deal that might attract criticism from other countries?
Well, the main reason is that in Malaysia the number of foreigners is on a steep rise, and the government is poised to do whatever it can to stop the influx. Today, more than 3 million foreigners live in Malaysia, over 10% of the entire population. Among them are not only people who have fled persecution, but also illegal immigrants seeking work. It's hard, however, to distinguish asylum seekers from illegal immigrants, so the government is not eager to grant refugee status and protection. Under the recent agreement, 4,000 refugees would be accommodated by Australia with no additional burden on Malaysia, so it's a sweet deal for Malaysian government. As we speak, an increasing number of refugees are coming into Malaysia, especially from nearby Myanmar, but actually it's quite hard for refugees to live in this country.
Thank you, Chikashi. Now, how do asylum seekers in Malaysia see the swap deal? Chikashi visited them to find out.
Malaysia's steady economic growth, ample job opportunities, and stable political conditions have attracted many people trying to escape hardship elsewhere. The number of people seeking asylum in the country has reached about 90,000. But many human rights groups criticize Malaysia's attitude on refugee protection. The government does not provide asylum seekers with housing or welfare, so they are forced to live in large groups at facilities run by non-governmental organizations. Nanjula is an ethnic Karen from Myanmar. Last year, she fled the country to escape its military government's control. Her husband was killed in Thailand after being dragged into fighting among refugee brokers. She and her 3 children fled to Malaysia, where they were put under the protection of a Karen People's Organization.
After he was killed, I lost the only person I could rely on.
But Nanjula cannot leave the facility where she's been placed. As the rights of refugees are not thoroughly guaranteed in Malaysia, many asylum seekers fear that police or immigration authorities could detain them as illegal immigrants. Her children's education is also a concern. The organization has volunteers to teach young people, but lacks personnel and education materials. Nanjula is looking forward to resettling in Australia, where she believes she can ensure safety and good education for her children.
I really hope they send us to Australia soon, so we can have a better life.
Although the refugee exchange between Australia and Malaysia faces difficulties, Myanmarese hope the deal will bring them a better future.
Things will be easier for them over there. I hope the Malaysia-Australia program works out in the near future.
Chikashi, we just saw the current status of refugees, but what will happen to them from now on?
I would have to say they have little choice but to stay in Malaysia until Australia makes a final decision on the deal. But like the family in the report, many of them want to leave Malaysia and settle elsewhere. Some even seek a broker's help to smuggle them into another country by boat, risking their lives. Refugees are facing one problem after another after having escaped persecution in their home country. It's no exaggeration to say that their fate rests on the outcome of the deal.
Chikashi, thanks. That was Chikashi from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia.